What is up, everybody? It's Sam, and we are back with another episode of Pessimistic at Best, the podcast. And I have my friend Evan on the pod.
Hey,
Evan.
What's
How
going
are
on?
you?
I'm good.
I'm excited to have you on this podcast, and I'm honestly excited to have you over. I mean, you've only been here like a handful of times.
Yeah, only a couple times, and it's been like in group situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James made us dinner. We're spoiled.
So sweet, so good.
It's like the best part about having anybody on the podcast is James will usually cook for them. So it's like a win-win.
Yeah, it was an honor. It was great.
And you had a little bit of a struggle on the bus to get over here.
Yeah, it was tough. It was definitely tough. A couple altercations happening on the front of the bus,
Yep.
you know, like a girl yelling at an older man.
Which that's always sad to witness.
Yeah, it was definitely like, oh shit, like what's the story behind this?
Yeah.
But I just kind of continued listening to music and scrolling Instagram. So I was like, all right, I just need to like move on.
Yeah, literally.
Like, should I be worried? Maybe, but time to move on.
There's only so much you can do.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And I have also struggled. I'm new to the bus. I'm trying to get my damn hands around the bus because I mean, we all like agreed as a group to not do Uber.
It's been
which
tough,
has been
though.
good, but like, hard. So I'm trying to like master the bus. Well, I guess I took the bus one time with James after a concert, but I was like pretty drunk and don't really remember it. So the first time that I like actively navigated the bus by myself was when we all went to brunch.
Yes.
And it worked out. And I took the bus a bunch that day. So I got a big confidence boost. Haven't taken it since.
Honestly, like once you get that confidence boost, it's like you crave taking public transportation. Like, how can I get there the fastest?
Yeah.
Like, where's it gonna take? Yeah, the cheapest. Where's it gonna take me? Like, how many? Like, can I do it all in one stop, or do I have to like hop on something else? It's kind of fun to like think about it. Like, I've been really doing that a lot lately.
Well, and you use City Mapper, right?
I use just Google Maps.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Have I not put you on to City Mapper?
No, you haven't.
Oh my God, I need to actually show you it when we get done with this. In my opinion, it's the best public transportation app. You essentially just put in wherever you're going and it'll give you the cost and time of every single option, including Uber. So it'll like map all that shit out for you. And of course it looks at like buses, trains, like any option, walking, biking, like it'll give it all.
Yeah.
And it'll tell you all the different routes that you can take. You can also put in like if you're trying to, like if I were going somewhere tomorrow and I needed to be there at like 8 a.m., I could put in like arrive at this time and it'll like, it's like awesome.
Okay, that's amazing.
And it's something about it. I just think that like, I don't know, the user interface, like the UI of it is really clean. So I used it the first time I ever found it. I actually used it during study abroad when I was in London and I really liked it. Granted, I think London has better public transportation than we do here.
Europe in general just has like,
it's like incredible.
It's insane. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll have to show you that app because I use it here and I really like it.
Okay. Yeah, definitely something to consider because I'm always like going into all the different apps and I'm like, okay, which one's cheapest right now? Like, should I just take the bus or like, what should I do today?
Yeah.
Did that. Ended up just like taking an Uber. So
I know. It's a struggle.
Yeah.
Well, and like my house, like we were talking about, it's just perfectly positioned where like it's not actually close to any public transportation option.
it really isn't. Like, honestly, close to Kenzie and
I know.
Grace, and theirs is like half hour, and then yours is like either 50 minutes to like over an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Really?
you guys are not that far apart. So that's so weird.
I feel like maybe, and like also this is like probably on like gentrification, but I feel like our neighborhood is like up and coming. So I could see some of that like coming this way, but I feel like it was just like left in the dust.
Oh, for sure. It definitely was. Yeah.
But I'm glad that you're here.
Yeah, made it here.
And you look incredible. I'm loving your outfit today.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Got this when I was in Arizona with my mom.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you thrift it or did you buy it at the actual
Bought it
Lacoste?
I bought it at Lacoste.
Nice.
It's like part of their new line. I'd try not to buy, but like when you were bored at the mall and I was like, Checkers just get me.
That's fair. That is like very much a pattern that you gravitate towards.
It's Checkers or Stripes. Like,
yeah.
That's all that I gravitate towards.
I support that.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like the times that I do shop at like an actual store, if like vacation is the perfect place to do it.
It really is. Yeah, that's because it's like you're out. You don't really know where the thrift stores are, but like if you do, like you have to look them up.
Right.
And so I'll sometimes like seek them out, but like I was with my mom and we were in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
So like we weren't trying to thrift.
Exactly.
Like we were trying to like do the bougie shit.
Of course. Yeah. That's what you have to do when you're in Scottsdale. Yeah. But that's fun. Well, I love that you love thrifting because you bring us everywhere. You showed me so many thrift stores.
Yes. I'm like seeking them out. Anytime I go somewhere, I'm like, I need to figure it out. And even if I'm on the bus, like whenever I'm on the bus, I always like find an antique shop or like a thrift store and I'll like write it down. Like I was going to get my prescription the other day and I like ran into a thrift store like right next to the prescription.
Is that the one you said was like a Savers?
Yeah, it was like a Savers. And I'm just like, okay, Savers is like my favorite thrift store ever.
I miss Savers.
Yeah, honestly. And so I'm just like, okay, shit, like we found a new one.
Totally.
It's like probably like a boutique style one because it's called Unique, but it says Savers on the bag. So I'm like, it's probably like a spin-off of Savers, but it's a smaller version. It's great. It's got like the same prices as Savers and
like a little more curated maybe too.
Yeah, maybe because it was just like smaller and honestly, this stuff was really good.
Nice.
And it was definitely like something that wasn't picked over. And it was like in a random area. So I was like, okay, this is my new favorite spot.
Nice.
But it is like 46 stops on the bus. So
what like neighborhood was that in?
It was South Halstead. So I want to say it was like past Chinatown.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like.
Yeah, that's a ways.
It was a trek. Yeah. But. I mean, I had to be there for the Walgreens over there.
Make it worth your while.
And I was like, I might as well. Like, a couple buses will come by, but I'll catch one. And I literally jumped on it, so.
That's the best. I know. Well, and something I haven't explored a ton here. Obviously, we went to, like, a Village Discount the other day. And I think you said there's one over by me.
Yes, there is. Yep, it's
so
on
I want to check that out because so far I've been going to more of the like curated but more expensive thrift stores. Sometimes I love that experience because like somebody already did all the hard work for you.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, like part of the fun of thrifting is the hunt.
Yeah, it really is. Like honestly, Madison thrift stores were probably the best,
like
and
the best.
Will always be the best.
Yeah.
Like I had my journey of like thrift stores that I would go to, and even like the curated ones were like reasonably priced, or you could like trade your clothes.
Right.
And I would do that all the time because like I also like to sell clothes too, and so it's just like that was nice. But
do you have an avenue that you sell clothes through? Because I know you have like your WEAREVS brand.
Yeah. So I am like I'm like figuring it out right now. So I've done like tried the Instagram, like tried doing it on there.
Just like through stories or like did you actually have a
like I had stories and then like I had like a specific highlight for it.
Oh,
and people could like go to it. And I've sold a couple things on there, but I've had the best luck on Poshmark.
Okay.
But I'm trying out Depop again.
Yeah.
But I also like didn't necessarily know like a lot about Depop when I started it out. And I didn't do much research. But now, like this time around, I've like done a lot of research. I've read a lot of articles on like how people got super popular on Depop, and then it's like essentially like your own business. Like it's like where
like a
people
little mini brand. Yeah.
There's a couple TikTokers that I like found that were like started on Depop, and they're now like having storefronts.
Okay.
And so I like have been following them, kind of understanding what they did.
Totally.
And then I actually asked, like when I bought on Depop recently, I was like, you've sold a lot of stuff, like, and you've had some success. Like, do you have any pointers for someone who's like new? And they were like,
smart.
Sell online, or not? Geez, yeah, of course, sell online. They were like, sell or drop at night.
Oh, interesting.
And drop every day.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, that's something I'll consider and like start doing.
Every day.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So I'm like wondering if I should do it based off of like how I curated, or if I should just like drop randomly, or if I should like put it into like different themes.
I know. Well, especially on Depop, like you said, it's definitely a lot more thought out. It's also a lot more marketed.
Yeah.
Like on Poshmark, you're just like wading through people's shit and like, which is also a part of the experience.
Right.
But like people aren't necessarily putting out a particular vibe on Poshmark, but they definitely do that on Depop.
Yeah. I mean, you can like sell I've sold a lot on Poshmark, but like then you get all these people just like liking it and sharing it. I'm like, okay, if you're liking it, just buy it.
Yeah, please.
Like, I mean, I get it, like to get it out there, but it's like, come on, I just like want you to buy it.
Somebody.
Yeah, like just
Anybody.
come on. So I'm hoping that like this new little approach I'm gonna do with Depop and doing this fun little photo shoot that we're gonna do this weekend. Yeah, me too.
Annie's so funny. She was like, I need to remember to wash my hair. I was like, good point. Same.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I am excited to like do it in my apartment, and there's a lot of
perfect apartment for it.
I'm excited. It's finally like where I want it to be.
Yeah.
And there's like some cool stuff like outside that we can take photos at, but I'm just excited to like get back into photography again too. So,
which also, I didn't even think about this, but James has some nice cameras we can bring too. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. I mean, I have a DSLR, and then I have a disposable and like my own film camera.
Cool.
But I haven't, like, I bought the film camera last year for my birthday, and I'm still trying to figure out how to like unload the film.
Totally.
So I tried doing that last week, and I fully ripped the film out of the canister.
Yeah.
It's been like 7 years. Like I started in film in high school and was really good at it, but then I like stopped for years and didn't have the camera because like we had them through school. So now I'm getting back into it, but I'm still like learning it all over again. So it's like from the start.
I know. Our like photography program, it's actually interesting you mentioned that. We like switched like right the year I joined, it was like no longer film.
Damn.
Which like everyone got a DSLR through school, which was obviously awesome.
That's really nice, yeah.
But I would have loved to have learned film.
So cool.
And James got me a film camera probably for my birthday like 2 years ago now or something. I think he thrifted it. And he has a couple too. But yeah, I don't know if I've ever actually gotten my film developed. I think I've only used the one roll and I'm scared. I don't know what to do next.
Yeah. The nice thing though is like there's actually like a nice film store close by you. It's in Wicker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's actually by this like famous TikToker that
hilarious.
Her boyfriend, she's an interior designer that I follow.
Okay.
And her boyfriend has a shop here. They just opened.
Oh, sweet.
Like I watched the journey of it all.
Nice.
And I was like, when I move here, I'm like gonna go get my film developed there.
Cool.
And Mackenzie actually got her film done there, and it turned out so good, and they sent it to you within like 24 hours.
Oh, she was talking about that one. It's like so fast.
Yeah.
And you can pay to have it be even faster.
Yep. Which is insane.
How can it be faster than a day? Like that's just
right?
crazy to me.
Yeah. It's like they must have like a bunch of workers in the back. Shit.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, no, we can definitely bring some of our cameras too.
Okay. Yeah. The more the merrier.
I'm excited for that. I know.
Me too.
I think you and I have a very similar like long-term goal, which is like I want to thrift. I want to like have my own thrift situation because that's like my favorite way to buy clothes.
Yeah.
And I would like, I mean, I love to shop those markets, but I'd love to eventually be at them.
Yeah.
And eventually I would love it to turn into something bigger where it's like an event space or like even something to do with my podcast. I don't have like the full, but like I know what it could be.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
No, I feel you so hard on that. Like it's something that I've been wanting to do my whole life. Like I've always been wanting to do fashion and have always like knew I like had a space for it. Like I was like, there's a space for me in the fashion industry. And I definitely like after college was like, I want to be in like the corporate world for a couple years to like kind of know the ins and outs of marketing, like kind of get the experience. But then I was like,
and there's something said for the stability. I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah. For the stability too. Like, but I was like, I knew I was going to jump into it and like start my own. I was like, I know I'm going to get into business somehow with myself.
Yeah.
I've been that way since I was a kid. I was like, I always had some sort of sale going on when I was a little kid.
A little hustler.
Yeah, a little hustler. Like if I didn't get something I wanted from my parents, I was like, I'm going to find a way to get the money for it. So I would make like bracelets. I'd have rummage sales. I'd sell lemonade. Yeah, I would find some ways. It was funny, but yeah, I'm excited to see like where WEAREVS takes me, and
totally.
I've been posting more on TikTok too, and it's like starting to pick up. Ray's more popular than me right now, so
I fucking feel that.
So I'm gonna see like if Ray will help me get somewhere.
Straight up.
Yeah,
I know. I'm the same. I like started making my little get ready with me TikToks.
I love those. Yes, you actually inspired me to like start doing them again. Yeah.
Nice. I know. Well, and it was a space where like I like watching that content. And so I was like, let me just fucking try it. It's one of those things too where like something about it is inherently embarrassing. Like I'm sitting there filming it and I'm like, I feel so stupid that I think I think eventually I'll get over that. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely will. It's also like I have realized I haven't even introduced myself on TikTok.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if I have either.
And I'm just like, okay, maybe I should if I like want to like be serious about this. And then I started doing it one night. I was a little high, but I was just like, maybe I can't do this. Like I started it and I'm just like, where do I even start?
I know.
I'm being goofy. I'm just like a goofy dude. So I'm like, maybe I should just be goofy.
Yeah.
And
I think that that's more than fine.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Well, and for me too, I was like, I want to be able to do this in a way where I'm acknowledging still that it's like silly.
Yeah.
Because like my other TikToks are like mostly my podcast or like, I mean, yeah, my cats, obviously a fan favorite.
Yeah, for sure.
And unfortunately they get way too much airtime. I'm like obsessed with my cats, but,
as you should be though.
I know. And they eat it up.
Yeah.
So like,
and they bring us joy. So that's all that matters.
And they're the best.
Yeah, for sure.
Little content creators.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. And so like, I'm like trying to make the two feel like it's the same version of me because like one of me is like getting dressed and the other of me is like cracking fucking jokes. So I'm like, okay, like how can I mix that? So I'm still obviously working on finding that balance.
It's definitely a process, that's for sure.
It is.
Yeah.
And I also feel like as like you and I mean, how are you 20? You're 26?
26, yeah, gonna be 27 soon.
And like as a 26-year-old, like it's not like I grew up on TikTok, like so like the kids, like these fucking children who just are on there all day. So it's like
it's insane.
It definitely takes like I have to try.
No, I touched the video, like I barely know how to do like the 3-second start.
Same.
And I'm just like, how do people know how to like split things up and like
you can do so
edit
much.
These? Yeah, and they all like have all these transitions, and I'm over here like, pointing my camera in front of the mirror, and that's about it. I'm doing the bare minimum.
I bought a ring light, and I'm like, all right, we're big tech now.
Yeah,
like,
I don't even have that. Like you're already 1-7. Yeah, please do.
So, but yeah, I mean, it feels so silly, but it actually does make a difference. And I just know as someone, I mean, I have such a love-hate with social media because I would like love to not need it. But as someone who like has a podcast and needs to market themselves, and if I eventually do want to do a vintage thing, like you kind of have to.
You have to, yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, that's literally, I'm in the same boat as you. I've been like, okay, I want to delete all these because it's like consuming all of my time.
Same.
And then I'm just like, well, you kind of need it for what you want to do.
Yeah.
And like, that's how you get any sort of business out there is through social media. So it's just like,
bite the bullet.
Yeah.
Make a fucking TikTok.
Yeah. Do it.
But, and it's one of those things too, where like this year, one of my actual goals for 2023 is to be on my phone less. Cause I mean, it's definitely, I had a friend, Sophia, who you met, who recently asked me like, what my vice is, and I was like, I don't have a super addictive personality. Like I don't drink alone every night. I mean, on occasion, sure, I'll have a glass of wine or whatever. But like, same with smoking. Like I like weed, but I don't have it all the time. Yeah. So I had to like sit there and think about it. And she was like if you have a bad day, like what do you turn to? And I was like, my fucking phone. I get on my phone and I scroll. And it sucks. Yeah. What a waste of time.
I know. I've been like struggling with that a lot lately too. Cause I decided when I moved here, I was like, I'm not going to get a TV.
Yeah. Cause I know you don't have a TV. Yeah, it blows my mind.
I know. I mean, I still use like my laptop here and there, but honestly, it's like, I'm hoping it like makes me like want to read more, but then I'm caught scrolling. I'm just like, fuck.
I know.
It's bad. Cause I'm like sitting at home, like I could literally be reading, but then I'm just like, I get so tired when I read.
Yeah. But sometimes that's the beauty of it.
I know.
It's
that's
like
so
it puts
true.
You right to sleep.
Yeah. Maybe I should have started doing that. But I've been really trying to like go into my room and not allowing my phone in the room.
Yeah. Don't you plug yours in the kitchen? Yep. That's like a level of self-restraint I do not have.
But there's like some downfalls to it. I'll like grab it in the morning and bring it in there and like
go back to
bed. But it's like a process. Like I'm slowly getting better at it. And
Yeah.
I'm like standing up. I'm like, okay, maybe I could just go for a walk
I
before I
know.
start work. I've did that a couple times. It's been nice every time, but sometimes I'm tired.
Totally.
I started therapy, so that's like helping me like get up and like actually start my day. And we're doing it in the mornings, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
But before bed, I always do like a little bit of journaling and then like read 10 pages.
Good for you.
And I've been on a good like wave with that.
My goal for the last like several years, I think what I do every year is I set way too many goals and then I don't achieve any of them. But
Story of my life.
like literally, I mean, it's so fun to be like, I'm going to do all of these fucking things.
Yeah.
And then, this year was the first time where I like didn't necessarily set these goals, but I didn't meet them in a lot of years previous. I'm trying to do a lot of the same shit. I like want to go outside more. I think also now that I'm fully remote, it's like, I really need to make it a point to leave the house.
At least once a day. Like you should
touch some fucking grass. Like get out of the house. Yeah. Because it's so bad. It's so easy to not. And then it's like, okay, I literally haven't breathed outdoor air. That's messed up.
Yeah. It kind of, if you think about it in that way,
it's really messed up.
Is.
So we're trying to like go for walks and stuff too. And I need to get back on a better like exercise grind. And then reading all of it has come honestly from instead of focusing on those things, putting the phone down. Because then it's like, okay, what do I do? Yeah. Oh, suddenly I have so much fucking time to do all this shit I keep saying I'm gonna do. So
and then same thing. I'm like, oh, I want to paint more. Like that's why I got rid of my TV is to like. Because I would literally sit down after work and just like watch TV, would eat in front of the TV. And
we're very guilty of that one as well.
It's like I need to enjoy my food, like sit down and like not scroll. So a lot of the time I like play music when I make dinner. And then I like
and that's
keep
always
that
really
going.
Peaceful. Yeah,
it's nice. I love a little Frank Sinatra, honestly.
Totally.
My roommate and I used to do that in college all the time. And we'd like
so sweet.
cook dinner together. It was pretty cute.
That's nice. Frank is perfect. And then you hear something sizzling with like the jazz in the background.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so good. Honestly, like puts you in the mood.
Totally. Yeah. I just like, I'm in the exact same boat. Same with cooking more, like all of it. I just want to be a better person. Yeah. So we're slowly but surely.
Yeah. 26, 27, that's going to be the year for us.
Let's keep that in the air.
Right? No. I've been pretty good about it, honestly, lately. And just like meeting some of the people that I've met, I'm just like inspired by them. And I'm just like, okay, this will definitely help me be where I want to be at.
Totally.
And I'm surrounding myself with like-minded people and like have similar wants. So it's been really nice and like has got me back into like things that I have been wanting to do for a while. So that's been pretty cool.
I think for me personally, I mean, it's so funny. For everyone who does not know this, Evan and I both lived in Madison in the exact same apartment complex and we didn't even know it.
So wild. It's so wild. I think about that all the time.
It's like, crazy.
We were so close.
I must have seen you.
We had to have.
Yeah.
And I remember like when I got into your car the first time, I was like, I always saw this car in the parking lot because I was like, this is the car I wanted. I was like, oh my God, this is like my dream.
So
like
funny.
The car I want to get. And then it was you guys. So funny.
But yeah, like literally saying we moved here. Did we move here the same weekend?
We moved the same day, I'm pretty sure.
That is literally crazy. We were probably like packing up our stuff. Yeah. Like, oh my God, so funny.
So wild.
But same thing. Like since moving here, I mean, shout out to Grace. Like I just feel like we've been introduced to so many awesome people and she's totally made the little group what it is. But I feel that way too. Like, I don't know about you. I really needed to move. I was like, I was at a point where all of like my friends had mostly left Madison. James still had a lot of friends in the city. So like it was, I think for him, not a harder decision, but like he could have been happy either place. And it was very overdue. I was like, it's time to fucking go. So, and the move has just been like everything I could have asked for and more. Everybody I've met has just been so awesome. And like also all the things we do are so fun. They're creative. Like we have like, I don't know. It's just, it's great.
It really has. Like I just keep telling myself it's been truly magical since I like how we met was crazy. Yeah. And just like all like any sort of situation we've been in has been like, this is what I've been dreaming about and waiting for.
Literally.
And like my space even too. I'm like, I have been imagining something like to the T since I've been a little kid. And
is this the first time you lived alone?
Well, so I've like lived alone since I've been out of college.
Okay, so you were alone in our last place too.
But it's like the places weren't like to what I wanted it to be. And then I was with my cousin. She's an interior designer in Minnesota. And we like saw this place together and we're like, you need to jump on it. It was like over Memorial Weekend. It was on Facebook Marketplace less than a day. And I was like, all right, I'm calling them right now.
Nice.
And I signed it within like a day. It
That's
was so amazing.
Yeah, that was the same with this. I used Grace's broker. But I became like obsessed with apartment hunting. Obsessed. Like it was
sure.
like
I also used Grace's broker, but then
Did you really?
Yeah, and she would send me stuff, but then I was just like, I could find something on my own.
So same. And I feel like I realized like I didn't really, I mean, obviously in Madison, we don't have that.
No, absolutely not.
That's not something we do.
No, you got to do that shit on your own.
Yeah. So I didn't quite understand the purpose. And she was sending me stuff and I was like, okay, some of this is cute, some of it's not, whatever. But like, I had a very like specific, I knew I wanted to walk up, like whatever. And then I started looking on my own. And I actually, the day that this place, I had probably been like feverishly hunting the internet for like about 4 months. I started way too early because in Madison, I mean, you can get an apartment like several months out.
Yep.
You can't do that here.
No, absolutely not.
And I found this place, loved it. I saw it that morning on like, I don't know if you use this at all. It's called like Hot Pads or something.
No, I haven't used that before.
It was a cool one because you could like do a lot of filtering things, but I felt like it had like the largest selection. Like I mean, like in Madison, I would use like apartments.com. You can't fucking do that here. Like no. So
yeah, they're like just shitty, honestly, on apartments.com.
And like you just see the ones that are like owned by a management company, which is like so not what Chicago does really. You see so few.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, I know millions of people live here. Like, where are all the apartments? So anyway, and I found this one on Hot Pads, and then I ended up looking. I reached out to them myself, and then I ended up like just checking what she had sent me that day, and she also sent me this apartment. And I was like, I'll have a much better chance if I go through her.
Yeah.
So then I like messaged. I literally called her, and I was like, I need this apartment. Like, I need it. And she was like, first of all, relax. And she was like, we'll do our best.
Did she actually say like relax?
She was a little bit sassy, but she was like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was funny. She was like, you need to calm down. And I was like, that. Okay, I know. Like, for sure. And we came down here and saw it per her recommendation because she was like, I thought being able to sign it without seeing it would be a perk. Like, we'll just sign it today, whatever
That's
they
what
want.
I did. Yeah.
But she was like, it's for rent by owner, so I think they might want to meet you.
Oh, yep. That made sense.
So we came all the way down here. It was actually the day after James's birthday. He really did not want to come. I think he had plans to go golfing. And I was like, if we do not get this apartment because we don't go see it, I will literally kill you. Like, you will be so much more miserable.
So funny.
So we came all the way down here, and it was like, it was actually funny too because the broker we were working with got COVID, so she couldn't come. We came here. She was like, their broker will meet you outside, whatever. Everyone has brokers. I don't really get how it's
There's
like buying
a lot
fucking
of brokers
house.
going around here. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
So we got here, and there was a woman outside, so I was like, oh, that's probably her. I like walk up, she didn't even look at me, and then she walked in the house, and I was like, that's weird. But then I walked up to the house, there was a sign on the door, and it said something like, come on up and take off your shoes. And I was like, oh, fuck, this is an open house for an apartment.
Oh, it was an open house. It was
an open house. We got up here, there were tons of fucking people in here. It was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
It was like real people, like fucking lawyers and stuff. And I was like, we don't stand a literal chance. And we got like 5 minutes with the broker to like ask her a couple questions, whatever. I managed to drop that we drove all the way up from Madison. So I'm glad that I said that.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, whoa, like just for this? And I was like, yeah.
Like, we're serious.
Literally.
We're serious.
And then, of course, we saw it, and I was like, now I love it even more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, shit, this place is insane.
And, like, the roof.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need it.
Yeah.
And it was, like, in my opinion, a little underpriced. So we ended up bidding more, which is ridiculous. I mean, I can't even believe that we did it. And it's kind of just crazy because for a fucking apartment, but whatever, we got it.
Hey, it's your dream apartment. Like you
worth
gotta,
it.
You do things
no regrets
for things you want.
Yeah. But yeah, it has taken me a really long time to furnish this place because it's way more space than we had in Madison.
I'm someone who I need to like decorate my space like right away.
I know. And then I try to get it all done and you spend so much money.
Yeah. And then I like most of the time waste half the shit.
Yeah,
and I'm
same.
like getting rid of it. And I'm just like, so when I moved here, I sold literally everything and ended up coming in fresh. And it's been fun to like slowly decorate it. And I'm finally like at the place where I'm like, all right, this is my space. This is what I've been dreaming about.
Totally.
Because I'm someone who like puts it in my mind. Like I don't do it anywhere else. I just like see the place and then like the space fills in my head. It's really weird.
Of course.
Yeah.
I think you have a really, really good eye for interior design.
Appreciate it. It's been something I've been like considering. I'm just like a creative guy, so I
are.
Wanna.
And you have really good taste, just in general. Like,
appreciate it.
You know, and that it comes out in all aspects: clothes, furniture, everything.
Yeah,
so.
And I think that's something cool about someone's space is like you get to look inside the person.
Yeah,
like
it's such a reflection of them.
Yeah, it really is. Like you get to like understand who they are as a person and like what they like.
Yeah.
And I always like when I create my space, I like want to be able to like walk around and tell a story about it.
Totally.
And so yeah, that's kind of like what my place is all about.
And like to be able to say like, yeah, here's where I got this. Like here's why I bought it.
Yeah.
A lot of your stuff is thrifted too, like your furniture. Once I was done with apartment hunting, I needed to become obsessed with something else. Yeah. And it became Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah. I've had some good luck on Facebook Marketplace, but like not as good of luck as like you or like Mackenzie, like you guys or Annie, honestly. Like
Annie's a Facebook Marketplace queen.
She's a queen of Facebook Marketplace. Like you guys are always talking about it. I'm just like shit. Like I wish like I've had mean people. Like I've like I wanted to get more bar stools and they had like exact ones and I like reached out. I was like, are these still available? Reddit, no response. And I was like, okay, you could just like say they're sold or like you don't want to sell it to me for some reason. I don't know. And then another time I like asked a girl, I was like, oh, is there like any possible way I could like pay extra for you to drop it off? And she goes, no. And I just said, okay, like maybe I'm still interested. Like she just like let me go. But I was like, fine, okay, whatever.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
I know it is always hit or miss.
Yeah.
I've definitely had some weird encounters. So far I wouldn't say I had really any bad ones. There was one guy, we wanted to buy like a bed frame, like because we have like a shitty one that's like from Amazon or something, but I'd love to get like a real one with a headboard.
I'm considering that too.
Yeah. Something about having a headboard is like so adult. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, and like we had fully like agreed on a pickup time, all this stuff. And then I must have like reached out and just like asked for confirmation of the address or something. I can't remember, but we were like about to leave the house and he was like, oh, my neighbor just came and picked it up. And I was like, oh, and you weren't going to fucking say anything? Like, what the hell's the matter with you?
We're on our way, geez.
Yeah. But I think that's like the weirdest one I've had so far.
Speaking of bed frames, I literally found mine in the garbage of our last place. Yeah. Someone was moving out and I was about to buy one. It was the exact same one I wanted on West Elm for like $500.
Yep.
And I found it in the garbage, fully intact, queen size, that's the best. For free.
How does that always happen to you?
I don't know. I literally like carried it up the stairs. It was heavy as hell. And it just sat in like my hallway to my apartment for a month. Because I was like, I'd rather bring this than not at all. So it was like, I just got lucky. I guess I've been manifesting a lot of things.
Yeah, for real. I know. That's like something that you have definitely reinstilled in my brain is like, you literally just have to tell the universe what you want.
Exactly. You truly do. Like every morning I always like say like, good morning, spirit guides. Good morning, spirit team. Like, how good is it going to get today? And that's been really good. And then just like always reminding myself, like, I'm always going to get what I want. Like, you just gotta, like, you speak it out.
Yeah,
like, you gotta
fucking rocks.
Yeah. And anytime there's like a new moon or anything, I'm always like, my friend in college got me into it. And
I was gonna ask.
Yeah. She like would always send me like my monthly horoscopes and just like would educate me on it. And I actually hadn't seen her in like months. And we hung out this last Friday.
Oh, is that the one who you're talking about?
And we like talked about it. And I was like, last week we didn't even like kind of talk about it, but I was like, last week I was like, I'm gonna see this girl, like I'm gonna see her again, like I haven't seen her in so long. And then we like made plans to hang out. And
does she live here?
She lives in Lake Geneva, but she like comes here all the time. She was here for her friend's birthday.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I guess like 6 years ago today we hung out. So it was crazy that we like literally.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That was the last time you saw her?
Last time I saw her was in 2020.
Okay.
But still a long time.
That is a really long time. Yeah.
But like we picked up right where we left off.
That's the best feeling.
Yeah. It was such a good feeling. And we just like kind of talked about what we're wanting in life and just, we manifested the shit out of that night. Because it was a new moon. So we wrote in our journals and stuff, and that was pretty sick.
I also love that you can like share that with people because so much of that is like self-work, obviously.
It is.
But it's obviously nice to just share in that experience.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was fun. Like, it's just fun to like kind of speak. Like, it truly is. Like, the world is magic. And whether or not, like, everyone has some sort of belief about something. And so it's just kind of cool to believe in something and get to like see things play out.
Well, it's one of those things where if you never actually believe you're going to get something that you really want or meet the goal that you so desperately want to get to, it's like then you don't stand a chance.
Right, exactly.
Like you're already counting yourself out.
Yeah.
So you have to say that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you have to believe it and like
right.
And continue to believe it. You have to like really stick to it and say it and believe it and mean it.
Yeah. Yeah, truly.
But yeah, I know. I was mad that I missed intention setting at Mackenzie's. That was when I was sick.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten sick in so long, and then I got like horribly sick.
There was something in the air because I got sick too, and I like was taking COVID tests like every single day. I was like, oh my God.
It was never COVID for me. Which I also don't know how I managed to miss out on that because I feel like we had a bit of COVID going around the group as well.
We really did. And we were like really close to each other, and all of us like mostly tested negative, which is wild.
Woo!
Yeah.
I haven't got my booster yet, which is shame on me. I need to do that. But.
They asked me to the doctor, and I was just like, I was being selfish. I was like, well, I'm hanging out with someone tonight, so
there's no good day to go get
sick.
It fucks you up.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I just need to like make an appointment. I need to go back anyways very soon, so I'll just do it when I go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you usually get the flu shot?
Yeah, I actually did.
You did?
Yeah,
I haven't gotten either this year. I've been terrible, but I also haven't had insurance here. I don't know. I just have been.
Yeah, it's definitely a process. They offered it to me, so I was like, I'll do the flu shot because I usually never get messed up on it.
Yeah.
But I should have done the COVID shot as well and just like sucked it up.
And the last two, both of the times I've gotten boosted or vaxxed or whatever, I was down and out like for the count. I mean, it really fucked me up. I felt like I had COVID. Like,
did you get yours at like the Alliant Energy Center?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You wait in like those long ass lines and all the things. Oh my God. And when they were doing COVID testing,
2-hour wait sometimes. It was scary.
What a time.
Yeah. My friend was in New Zealand during that time, Kelsey, and COVID wasn't happening there. I was like texting her while I was in line one day, like, yeah, waiting in a 2-hour line to get COVID. She's like, oh, I'm currently like working a Wiggles concert.
Like the Wiggles?
The Wiggles. And I'm just like, we're in totally different worlds, right? Like we truly are in two different worlds right now.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah. I know. I'm jealous of them. The prime minister is stepping down.
Really?
She's like ready to be done, which is also crazy because I mean, she was like awesome, obviously led them all through COVID and everything. Yeah. And I saw some interview or maybe it was on Colbert and she said something along the lines of like, you know, I just know that I'm no longer fit to do this anymore. And someone, you know, and he was like, wow, to think somebody's actually like stepping down when they're supposed to, like, yeah, because they know mentally they need a rest. Right. And it's like, yeah, like they got it good over there.
They really do. And honestly, I feel like all of the successful like places that got through COVID were all like women in power.
Literally.
So it's like, America, why don't we like start taking some notes here?
That's what I'm saying.
Because I feel like any situation,
or whatever the excuse is.
Yeah, whatever. Honestly,
terrible.
I've always looked for a woman boss. Like that's something I look forward look for because they just they're so much more organized. They're
more
like,
empathetic.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And any sort of male figure I've been involved with for a job, they've just been like, treat you like shit. They're always like pushing their emotions on you when they're upset about something.
Because they don't know how to handle them.
Yeah. It's wild.
I know. No emotional regulation.
But then they say that women are emotional, and it's like,
right.
Maybe
Let's
you should
look
in
at
a mirror. Yeah.
Please.
It's insane.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was thinking back recently to the day that I first met you, which was literally at your house.
Yeah.
And that
so
story
funny.
is literally still so funny. I think it's really funny that that's what like cemented our friend group too, because that was the day that we all met and became friends. Yeah. I can't even remember like where we had plans to go somewhere. We didn't end up going.
Yeah, we were supposed to like. So that's like how I brought the whole thing together, is because
like a market or something.
Yeah, it was like they like had 10 bands going on, and there was like food vendors, and I was like, ooh, this is like the first time I can invite someone to something. So I like invited Grace and Annie, and then Grace is like, oh, well, like I have a couple friends who want to come too, and I was like, the more the merrier.
Yeah.
Like, let's do it.
Did you know Annie already?
Yeah, so I met Annie at Grace's first comedy show.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I was like. I think it was the third day I moved here. And I was like, when I moved here, I was like, all of August, I'm just going to say yes to literally everything possible.
Meet everybody.
Yeah, meet everyone, figure it out. It was expensive as hell.
Of course.
But it was worth it as hell.
Yeah.
And so I like showed up, had no idea like what to expect, and ended up meeting Dylan, Andy, and Annie that night. And the rest is history.
Funny. Yeah. Well, and it was so funny too. Grace was like, yeah, you guys should come to this market, whatever. Like my friend Evan's going to have us over to pregame or whatever. So we came over to your house. Immediately I was like, okay, your place rocks. And you had a cat. I was like, I love this man already. And within like 5 minutes of being there, you took us on the little tour. Yeah. And then we went out onto the balcony. And James literally closed the door. Literally, and I still believe this about you, but you're the most even keel fucking person I've ever met in my life. And Evan turns around and he's like, oh, like, did you just shut the door? And James was like, yeah, like, don't worry, I've got it. Like, I know you have a cat inside. And then Evan was like, you were like, oh, like, it locks automatically. Still no ounce of stress in your voice. And both James and I were like, wait. Does that mean we're locked out? And you're like, yeah. So then we were all just like stuck outside. You totally didn't care. James felt so bad.
Well, because I've been in situations like that, and I never want someone to feel uncomfortable.
And it's like what does stress do?
Right.
Getting stressed out doesn't actually help.
Yeah. Any situation that like has some sort of like people think to be stressed about. Yeah. I always just go into it and like remind myself that there's a lot of things that could be worse.
Yeah.
Like with my job, like there's so many times when people get stressed out when event planning, and I'm just like, the end of the day, it's just alcohol.
Totally.
So it's just like reminding and like switching your mind about like, okay, like we'll figure this out. And if not, like we'll just figure, like I knew there was going to be some sort of way to figure it out. And we had all the things. We had music.
Truly.
It was a beautiful night.
Wine,
yeah,
we had weed. Wine. Yeah. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Right, exactly. So we were like set up for success.
Yeah. And it was a gorgeous night.
Yeah, it really was. And that's where I was like, the magic is here. And that was like a night where like, it truly felt like a magic. We were in a movie or something. It was so funny.
And it made for a really good story.
Yeah.
It was so funny too because like Evan was like, no worries. Immediately Grace gets on the phone. She's like, I've got it. Yeah. She's like on the phone with the locksmith. He took a while to come, but like who cares?
Right.
So funny too. It was like Mackenzie the first time meeting any of us.
Yeah.
She had to like come up the back.
Yeah. It was so funny. And like so we made her go to Benny's because it's right next door. Honestly, like so many situations where
it could have been
Benny
more perfect.
like Benny has come in clutch.
Literally, all hell Benny.
Yeah.
The locksmith eventually came. First of all, that man put in some fucking work on your door. Like,
it was so funny.
Sweaty.
It was so funny because all of us, like, I just kept clocking, like, everyone, like, slyly, like, having conversation, but, like, slyly, like, making sure he's, like, about to get in. We're all just, like, slowly like losing hope.
Literally, it took him a long time.
It was so funny. But then
and he was so sweaty.
So sweaty. Like, it was a hot day though. It was a hot day.
Oh my God. And I don't think he was having any of our shenanigans either because we were like cracking jokes and I feel like he was maybe worried he wasn't gonna get in.
I think he ended up mentioning to someone like, I didn't think I was gonna get in. And I was like, honestly, it reassured me that even with just one lock, like it takes
it takes a lot of
to
work.
get into my place.
So that's true.
So I was like, okay, that makes me feel good. Yeah, like it makes me feel a little safe.
Yeah.
Because having like a door into my office, like it's a clear, like I'm on a call, like someone's gonna get me right away.
Yeah.
So
I know that's the one thing. This is the first apartment where like there's access to my, like, you don't have to go through a building.
Yeah, like you don't have to like.
I have doors directly to the outside.
Yeah.
Which is a little scary.
Yeah.
I've always lived in like, I mean, maybe high rise is the wrong word because some of them were like 4 stories, but like, you know, an apartment complex.
Apartment complex that had like some more.
I was not on the ground floor.
Yeah, exactly.
So, which I'm not now either, but there are stairs to my front and back door. Mm-hmm. I know. It's like, again, I know we were chatting about this earlier, but I feel pretty safe here.
Yeah, me too.
But like, it has definitely been, I mean, it's been a little bit of an adjustment.
Yeah.
It's definitely not Madison.
No, we were talking about this earlier. Like, I feel like I was doing the same things in Madison, but somehow still had the same, like, still had more money.
Oh my God, so much
in
more
Madison,
money.
But I feel
like I was going out more in Madison, especially to eat.
Yep.
And somehow I don't have any money.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, But I am like spending things like more money on like furniture and there's just
I think
like
that chewed up a ton of my budget because I'm the same as you. I got in here and I was like, I want to get this place. I mean, I want to love it, but I was like, I at least need to get it to a place where like I like it.
Yeah, and like I want to invite people over.
Yeah, and feel like I can host and actually utilize it to its full capacity. So, I mean, we still have some boxes and stuff. We're not like all the way there, but I can have you over for dinner and have it be
exactly.
nice.
Like you can get to all the things that you need on a daily basis. That's the most important part.
Totally. Mm-hmm. And I think, I mean, and like I said, we're in this place for 2 years, so we have a little bit of time. So nice. That was my first thing when I moved here. I think someone gave me that advice too of like, fill it slowly and like then you find the right pieces and you are a little more intentional with it. And I was like, okay, says you. But like there is something to that.
There really is.
Yeah.
And I think I've found that, like, I mean, I have gotten lucky on some of the things that I've been grabbing, but there has just been something about, like, going slowly about it and then finally feeling like, wow, this is nice to have.
Totally.
But I feel like a few of the things that I, like, jumped on were things that I, like, actually needed. Like, I wish I would have waited on getting, like, a really cool vintage desk.
Sure.
But I was like, okay, I need to work.
I need a place to sit.
Like I need to like work and like utilize my office. So I was like, okay, I'll just like jump on this glass one.
I know. That's my old one. I bought that in my last place because it like, I mean, you know, our last apartment was like a lot more industrial looking. Totally fit that vibe. It doesn't fit the space here. So my intention, my dad's actually currently, I put that man to work. He's like retired and I was like, okay, I got projects for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's like, but because we also don't have any bookshelves here. And like our last apartment had so many built-in shelving units and whatever.
I love those. Yes.
So I was like almost all the boxes in there are books. So I'm having him build like shelves with like a built-in desk for me.
That's gonna be nice.
Which I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
No rush, Dad, but like if you're listening.
Like, come on.
Yeah, literally.
A little bit of pressure.
And I felt the same way. Like our last apartment was so specific. The vibe was really specific. And also like, frankly, it was pretty small. So a lot of what I needed was like tiny and like tall. I had everything. I had like tall tables, like tall stools.
Yeah.
A bunch of stuff like that all kind of fit in this space. Brought it all here and I was like, I don't actually want any of this for here. So I sold it.
Yeah.
Then we bought a bunch of shit. I'm still paying off that couch. So
it's so worth it though. Like having a nice, I'm also paying off my couch still and I'm just like,
hey, at least I could do it in installments.
Right.
Like,
yeah. That's really nice.
Couches are super fucking expensive.
And it's like, it's an investment though. Like that's what I told myself too. I was like, I'm going to buy more expensive pieces. Then
otherwise I was buying like Wayfair shit and it would just break or.
Right. And you're like constantly having to repurchase new things and like every year, and it's just like, no, like this is what I want. And like the things that I have bought, like my couch, like I have a 5-year warranty on it.
See, that's nice.
Yeah, like my table, all I will need to get new is like a glass top to it or like reupholster the chairs or something.
That was thrifted, right?
Yeah, it was.
That's like such a good find.
I know. I literally went to this thrift, like antique store when I first moved here, and I was like, if I need a dining room table, I'm going to buy this one. And then when my table broke, I went back and it was still there. And I was like, the guy cut me a deal and I was like, wow, okay, this is so nice. Yeah.
It looks so good in your space.
It's like I had my boss's fiance was like, she was telling me that he told her like, oh, this is like if Evan had a dining room table like specific, it would be this exact one. Yeah,
yeah, in the best way.
Yep.
Like that's so good.
Yeah,
That's the
really,
best.
yeah, it really is. Geez, it took me a while to get there.
I think this is the most fun I've ever had decorating. So that's been like also just a fun experience. Definitely the most space I've had to be accountable for.
Yeah,
which is a whole new.
Yeah,
challenge.
That's definitely a new challenge for sure.
Well, and like with these walk-ups, like that room is technically supposed to be a formal dining room.
Oh, okay.
Which
and this is supposed to be the living room?
Yeah.
Whoa, okay.
And I was like, I don't really need that because we have room for a table in there.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the best use of space in my opinion. Our landlords who previously lived here only used that as like an entry room. So there was almost nothing in it. I mean, it was just like, I think there was like a little table and, you know, but nothing crazy. And I was like, well, I kind of want to sit in there.
Yeah. No, I like the way you have it, honestly.
And then it separates the like where I actually do lounge and watch TV versus where I like would have people in like conversate.
Yeah. I like that because like this is like a conversation area. Mm-hmm. This is like, let's chill out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also, a big thing is this is the first apartment I've ever had where like I have enough room for people to stay.
Yeah.
No one ever wanted to stay with me at my last apartment. I mean, they would if they like got too drunk or needed a place to stay, mm-hmm. but like I don't think it was comfortable.
Yeah.
And especially because I'm not living in a city where like all my friends are anymore. I want people to want to visit. So that was a big piece of it too, where I was like, the more couches I can fit into this fucking space, the better.
Exactly.
But I am jealous that you have your own office.
It's honestly so nice. But there are times like during the week where I like don't even want to go in there. I'm just like, ugh, like I just want to sit on the couch.
It's nice to have the choice though.
Yeah, it is. And it's nice to not have it in my bedroom or like in a space where I like, it's nice I can just like leave it.
Yeah.
And just like end the day there.
And like that's work,
you
know, and then you can get out.
Yeah.
I also think it's just nice. That was one thing I was kind of looking for here. Although when we first moved, I knew I was going in a little bit.
Yeah.
Which of course is no longer the case. Because like I knew James needed a space. He's remote all the time.
Yeah.
But like I was like, well, I definitely need a place to sit, but I don't necessarily need something like that. Eventually, if we do ever move out of this apartment, I think I would want my own office. And I like how you use it too, where it's also like partially your closet and like it could be a get ready space or like whatever.
It's nice that I like moved my mirror into there too, because before it was like I would be in my bedroom like checking myself out, but I would also be like grabbing things in my office. And I'm just like, now I just bring everything that I need from my bedroom into the office and I'm like getting ready in there. I'm like, okay, this is a nice
plus when you're gonna film a TikTok, it's a gorgeous room.
Right, exactly.
And people don't have to like peer into your sleeping quarters.
Yeah. I know. It's like nice that it's like a space to just unwind.
Totally.
I, like, put my chair in there now. So I just like journal at the chair, read at the chair.
That's nice.
It's perfect. And I guess also like feng shui wise, like you should never have a mirror in your room.
Really?
Yeah, like they say like to never, because like it can open portals essentially.
Oh shit.
And I used to have like in my last place, and I slept terribly at my last place. You should never have like two mirrors facing one another, and I did at my last place.
I had that in college for sure.
And then you also should never have one like in an entryway. So like if you walk into a room, you should never see your reflection.
Okay.
And so I had that as well. And so I just had like double whammy of like mirror situations. Where do you
study all of these things?
I like look it up online, like feng shui stuff. My friend's also really into that too. She's pretty witchy. But yeah, my grandma also has like a million books on feng shui. And just like loving interior design, like I look into it. And like you should have your head.
Feel a space, even if you don't necessarily know why you're feeling a certain way, or you can't put like words to it, you feel it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So
yeah, there's definitely energy always in your space. And when I moved here, it was nice because I like did like a little ritual before all my furniture was moved in, and like thanked the space, and
I think that's awesome.
Walked around and like asked like the negative energy to leave, and it's made the space feel really good. So,
totally.
And I do it constantly. Like if I have people over and I don't really know them, I like kind of
course
get the negative energy out if there is any. So
No, I think that's really cool. That's like something I definitely am curious about and want to study more. My dad did the Camino de Santiago through Spain. So he was gone for like 2 months, actually with Sophia's dad, who you met this weekend.
That's so cool.
Yeah, Sophia's like my longest, oldest friend, and our parents have just become friends over the years. So, and our dads are an unlikely pair, but they went and did this, which was awesome. They were gone for like 2 months, and my mom had like a little bit of a hard time, I think, when he first left. Also, I had just moved, so I think it was just like the first time she's been that alone in literal so many years.
Yeah, it's wild feeling.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
And she was also in the process. My mom's an artist. I think you've seen her stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm always liking her stuff on Instagram.
She's really good.
Yeah, it really is.
Not to toot her horn, but I think she's incredible. And she was in the process of moving her art studio. She had it like upstairs in our house in a pretty small room, and she was going to expand into like our basement.
Oh, fun.
And so, well, she likes to say lower level. She doesn't like the word basement.
Okay, fair.
And so they like installed a bunch of recessed lighting, make sure it was bright enough, and like do all these things. Because I think she had tried that when we first moved into the house, and it didn't work for similar reasons. It was like not good energy. She would go down there, something about the act of even just having to go down the stairs, and then you're in this dark space, and she was like, this is not working. So she hadn't tried it in years. And of course I took over that space as a teenager, because teenagers always get banished to the basement.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And so she was like in the process of moving her stuff. And then our moms have a friend who's like a Reiki, and she was like, Chris, you need to let me get over there and like smudge your space. Like, we need to do all of these things. Like, you can't just move down there. She's like, we have to like go through the motions. And she did it. And like, my mom, I don't know how much my mom like is aware of that stuff or believes in it per se, but she was so grateful just to have someone, you know, who could like guide her through that process. And like, even just the act of like, I don't know, there's something to just acknowledging that you're making a big transition, because it is.
It is. Yeah. It's definitely, it's good to like do that. And I'm still like learning about it and like understanding it, but like, it's cool that your mom got to be the student in that situation.
Totally.
Yeah. It's always fun to like sometimes be the student and just like
I mean, it's so fun to learn new things. Yeah. Especially how often you get to do that now that you're not like in class. So.
I know. That's like another thing too that I've loved since moving here is just meeting all these new people and getting to be the student.
So many new things to experience.
Yeah. Because we're all like similar in a lot of ways, but different in so many ways too. So it's just fun to learn from one another.
Yeah, it really has been awesome. I feel so lucky. James and I say it to each other all the time. Like, something about this move, it just worked.
Yeah.
And like, not everyone has that experience. So I feel really blessed because it's just been awesome. Like, I don't have enough good things to say about it. And it has just transformed my life. Like, I'm so much happier.
Honestly, there's been like, even this weekend, I was like telling Mackenzie the next day, I was just like, yesterday was so good.
It was
and
so fun.
I felt so fulfilled and just like woke up the next day and I was like, I'm ready to like continue moving on. Like I was like, it's such a good feeling.
What else? Like, bring it on.
What else? Yeah.
Well, and I think it's cool that like, I don't know. I think it's special that so many people have like had friends visit and we've gotten to meet everybody as like, you know, the other people in their lives too. Yeah. And everyone has meshed really well. Really, really well. Because everyone has great taste.
I know, honestly.
It's just been cool. And honestly, I can't say it enough. Like, shout out to Grace, because that woman knows how to bring people together.
She really does. And just like make people feel so good.
I'm like, look at us here, just recording this podcast.
Right? I know, it's crazy. Like, we wouldn't be here.
For real. Well, and thank you for coming on the pod.
I'm so honored, honestly.
Something that I always forget to do, but I'm remembering it today, is, have you ever done the thought exercise like rose and a thorn?
Yeah, I usually do like my 2 positives of the day.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do your spin on it.
Okay.
And sometimes I'll do it on the day, but I think with you, or like the week, or honestly just whatever the theme of the podcast has been, but I would love to know yours of like moving here.
Okay. So 2 positives from moving here. Meeting like a group of people who have like similar taste and like are wanting to like go out and do things and like be creative. Like I was just like looking for people to like want to go out and like have fun and dance, but then also like want to like have a chill night and just paint.
Same.
And
you don't always find that. I mean, because it's really, it's easy to make friends with the people who want to go out.
Yeah.
And as a person who does love going out.
I love going out, yeah.
Like, I want to have that still, but it sucks when that's the only thing you feel like you can do together.
Right. It's nice that we like got the best of both, like best of all worlds, honestly. Like, it's pretty cool. And then I'm going to honestly say another positive is my space. Like,
totally.
I finally feel like I've never been able to say like I feel like I'm home. Mm-hmm. And this is like
That's
finally
huge.
like a space where I'm like I'm at home. Like my neighborhood, the space, just like being in Chicago itself. And also Chicago is in Pisces.
Okay.
So that's another like was like a telling sign too for me.
I didn't know that could be, I didn't know spaces. How does that work?
So it's just like based off when like the city itself was originated.
Okay.
So they just like pick a zodiac sign.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really cool. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I'm curious what Madison is.
I know.
Do you know?
I want to say it's Aquarius.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I looked it up, but I want to say it's Aquarius because I ended up telling one of my friends that it's Aquarius.
Okay.
But like I just like looked up all the places that I've lived in, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like it just like makes sense why I didn't mesh there.
How long were you in Madison?
3 years.
Okay.
Yep. So like right when I graduated college, I moved there.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I know it feels so crazy to be as far from college as we are, and I feel like so much of that is the pandemic.
Yeah, it really
I don't
is.
feel 26.
No, definitely
I feel 24.
don't.
I feel like I feel 2 years younger than I am.
Well, yeah, we stopped for like we literally like
We had 2 years of our lives
Yeah.
snatched away.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Okay, well, I love those answers, and that makes a lot of sense to me. I think for me, having to make new friends again is something that's been a positive. I honestly haven't had to do that in years. And it's not like I haven't met people.
Yeah.
But I was just always surrounded by like a lot of my close friends that I've grown up with, whether that's high school, college, whatever. Even like the friends I did make, it was often through a person I've known for a really long time, or we would just like bring our groups together.
Right.
So that has been really good. It's just like, it feels good to meet new people.
And honestly, like at our age too, like being an adult, it's really hard to make new friends.
It's really hard to make new friends.
So the fact that we've made so many new friends is insane.
I haven't stopped meeting people since I've gotten here. And everyone I meet is cool as fuck.
Yeah,
so I'm
just
okay,
like,
that's
whoa,
awesome.
okay, like more like even this last weekend I met so many people at my place.
Yeah, literally at your house.
Yeah, right? I know, I'm like, I'm meeting so many people at my apartment.
Yeah,
I should do that more, honestly.
Yeah, everyone come over.
Yeah, right? Like I saw this on somewhere. It was like, I want to do like a dinner party where each person brings someone that they don't know. Like
that's cool.
Like, but like we don't know.
Yeah.
So like everyone brings someone.
That's crazy.
Because then it's
idea.
because then it's like you get to like.
That's honestly essentially what your house was this week.
It really was. Yeah, someone brought someone that I didn't know, and I got to meet a bunch of people.
That was really fun.
Yeah. So it actually did happen already.
Yeah.
But it's,
on accident.
It's a cool situation though.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
And I think another one for me, another positive, honestly, work. I think it's been cool to like come here. I got to keep my job, but I think I got a lot more comfortable in what I was doing, which is a little bit interesting because I moved farther away. So I'm not with my team. Like my team is mostly in Madison, but I think because I was farther away, it again pushed me out of my comfort zone a little, where I like almost had no choice but to like learn a couple things on my own, or I just didn't have as many people to lean on. And like, I think this is the first time where I like have a job that I feel like I care about.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
Definitely a good feeling.
I mean, it is. And like work, there's such a fine balance there because like on the one hand, I love being able to be like, work is just work. So you can't get overly stressed about it, or like, it's nice to shut the laptop at the end of the day.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it is.
But I'm also one of those people who needs to care about what I'm doing.
Yeah. Oh,
otherwise, there's no way I'm clocking 8 hours on some bullshit I hate. Like,
No
there's
way.
just no way. So I think I've just like found that balance. Also, like last year, I totally did not have that balance. I was working all the time, and it was outrageous.
Yeah.
So I think even just like getting more comfortable in that. Also, I think because I honestly have had no choice, I have so much that I can do here, and all of our friends love doing things.
Yeah.
So like having to find that work-life balance just because I have lots of people I want to see.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, that's been like the best.
Such a good feeling. Yeah. And work-life balance is so important. I think as you get into it more and more, like you just learn that.
Yeah.
And it's such a good feeling.
And I think it's like, I mean, people, you know, that's such a term that people throw out there, but I think it's easy to lose sight of that in your first job because you're like working for the first time. You still don't really know what that means or what it's supposed to look like.
You're trying to prove yourself.
Totally.
Yeah.
And like now I want to be good at what I do and I want to care about it enough that comes through. I don't want to care about it too much that like I don't have a social life.
Yeah.
I'm a very social person.
Yeah. And it's good to have a social life.
Yeah. Like that's healthy.
Yeah.
So that's definitely been a positive.
Yeah.
Since moving.
Both great positives as well.
Look at us.
Yeah.
You're making me become a much more positive person because you are like king of positivity. I don't know how you do it. You're so happy.
It was a process and it still is a process, but it definitely like started when my parents got a divorce. I was like,
that makes sense.
I can either like be really upset about it or
Totally.
I can kind of like use this negativity to like make things positive and realize that it's just you're only in this body and mind for one life, and you might as well kind of like train your mind to be more positive.
Focus on the good stuff. How old were you when your parents got divorced?
In college, I was a sophomore in college. So it, like some people say they'd rather have their parents like divorced in college, but honestly it was like a weird situation because we were both out of the house, like my brother and I. And
I feel like at that point you almost wouldn't expect it. It's like you already made it through all the hard stuff.
Right, exactly.
I mean, and everyone's on their own journey, so
yeah. It was a wild experience, but it definitely like allowed me to like get a new mindset.
Totally.
And it's definitely like I'm thankful that my parents are both happier now.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful that I was able to kind of like find some light in the negativity.
Totally.
So
I mean, I think that's a very mature outlook to even have on it.
Yeah.
And the healthiest one, truly.
Yeah, it's a process, but that's what therapy's for.
Literally. Amen to that.
Yeah.
I know. I need to hunt for a new therapist. A problem for another episode, but yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Did you find shopping for a therapist was hard here? I haven't like done that in forever.
So the first couple times I looked for a therapist, it was like I Googled it. I was just like, therapist near me. And I emailed a couple and all of them were like, I have no availability.
Right.
And then I checked out ZocDoc and it was like a full list of people.
Okay, that's good to know.
They had ratings, which was, I didn't think they would have. And I just found one, like it has their pictures on there and stuff and kind of like what they focus on. And this girl was like all the things that I wanted. And then turns out her maiden name's MacDougall.
No fucking
So we're
way.
from the same Scottish clan, which is funny as hell.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes the things that happen to you, I'm like, the stars are just aligning.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I just get lucky, I guess. I
Honestly.
don't know.
No, it's that manifestation.
It
right
really
there.
is. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I know. I need to start looking.
It's worth it. Feels good.
It is.
I get to see her in the morning. So
that's nice.
Bright and early.
See, and you look forward to it. And that's big too, because that's how it should be.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a good thing to look forward to.
Well, again, thanks for jumping on the pod.
Yeah,
we'll have to do this again soon.
For sure.
Did you have fun?
I did. I was definitely nervous, and I was like, "Oh my god!" But no, it was a good time, and it honestly went by fast.
It did. We're literally already on over an hour.
Yeah.
It's a long episode for me.
Yeah, it's really. I was gonna say,
but you're easy to talk to.
Appreciate it. Yeah,
I'd love to have
good.
you back on.
Would love to be back on.
And thanks for coming over for dinner.
Yeah. Oh my god, it was great.
So, for the fans, are you gonna Uber home or are you thinking the bus?
I mean, what time is it right now?
Good question.
Almost 9.
Yeah.
Probably gonna Uber, to be honest with you.
I get it.
I do love like listening to music on the bus, but I think I can listen to music when I get home.
True.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Music's always available.
Yeah, and I'm sure the Uber's probably gonna be cheap. So
yeah, especially at this hour on a Tuesday, no less.
Right.
Well, anyway, thank you guys for watching or listening
Yeah.
or whichever platform you are paying attention to us on. And I'm going to drop all of Evan's socials in the show notes. So yeah, definitely check him out. Is your
For
Depop
sure.
live yet? I can drop that in there too.
It's gonna be live in March.
Okay, there we go.
So
coming soon.
but definitely like check out WEAREVS.
Yes.
Like we'll be throughout February. I'll be posting all of the photos
Fuck
and
yeah.
getting people excited for the launch. So
I'm excited.
yeah, it's gonna be good.
I'm modeling just so you all know.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be so good.
And anyways, thank you guys for tuning in and I'll chat with you again next week. Bye. Another cathartic convo in the books. I feel better. How about you? Thank you so much for listening. Now I just want to jump on here and say, don't forget to follow and or subscribe to the pod on your favorite streaming platform for new episodes every single week, because I know you can't get enough of me. Additionally, if you want to gain access to exclusive episodes and lots of other goodies, join our Patreon and support the pod with your hard-earned American dollars. You can find the link in our show notes, or you can also visit us at patreon.com/pessimistic@best. And of course, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at pessimistic@best. And if you're as obsessed with me as I am with you, you can find me at Sam Georgeson on all platforms. And last but not least, I'd like to give a special shout out to my podcast editor and producer, the love of my life, James Arbai, whom I literally could not do this without. So thank you, James. I love you so much. And thank you guys for joining me again this week. I love you too. And I cannot wait to chat with you again soon.